What are the odds of this? I'm the second white person you were warned about. And I'm going to get my money too. Man, it's good to see an audience be up on stage again. You guys? Ah, this feels good. Before we go any further, let me throw this out. Warning. Tonight's program may be deemed offensive to the chronically offended. Listener discretion is advised. There. Once you throw that out, we're good. We can talk about whatever we want. So tonight, it's time to play America's favorite game time fun show. Let's spin the big wheel. Behind me, I have an imaginary big wheel with 5 subject matters. Johnny Olson, why don't you tell our audience what they are?
Okay, Brett. Our first segment is Weird Relatives. The second one is Dead Celebrities. The third one is Your Ex-Wife. Could do without that one. The fourth one is Pets. And the fifth one is Mom. Okay, thank you, Johnny. Let's go ahead and spin the wheel. Whoa, and let's see where it lands. It's rolling round and round, and it's landing on Weird Relatives. All right. I can tell you something about that because everybody on my dad's side of the family is from Georgia and Alabama, the deep woods, right? So like when I was 5 years old and I'd go see my grandpa and my grandma who were, he was a preacher for the Church of God. And they cruised around in an RV, I'm not kidding, and they did revivals, right? So when I'd see grandpa, it wasn't like going and see him in church. When I go see him, this guy was the coolest dude, and he would start singing praises of God over nothing. Like we'd be sitting there having breakfast and he's like, praise God, son. The biscuits and gravy are coming. Man, praise God. Irma, the grit's coming. They're coming, James. Yeah, man. And I go, yeah, Grandpa. I was stoked at 5 years old. Now fast forward 30 years. Oh, what a difference 30 years makes. I went to a Butler family reunion in Alabama. And man, I'm going to tell you, it's a whole different ball game. So my dad tells me, I'm with my dad, he says, we're going to go visit your Aunt Tiny and my cousin Sonny. So we drive through the woods a ways. When we get to a house, looks like something out of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, right? We pull up and here's his Uncle Sonny on the porch playing banjo. You know the song. Right? We walk in and there's Aunt Tiny. But she ain't tiny. So we sit down at the table, we start talking. She was nice. And her and my dad start chatting, I doze off. Apparently my dad split, because when I woke up, Aunt Tiny's like 3 inches from my face. You know, I've been looking at you while you're sleeping, boy. I said, yeah? She says, you don't favor or resemble the Butlers. You look more like the gentry side of our family. She said, you ever been to a Butler family reunion? I said, no. She said, don't ever go. They're ugly sons of bitches. It's all chins and noses. I'm going to tell you now, they're batshit crazy. She goes, we're not like that here, you know. If I was a little younger, you and I could have some fun while your daddy's away. I'm like, what the hell did she just say to me? All of a sudden, all the color leaves the room, right? Camera pans over, and there he is on the corner. Submitted for your approval. Aunt Tiny, you're traveling through another dimension. A dimension of time and space. Aunt Tiny is taking you by the pee-pee and leading into a place we call the incest zone. Dad shows up. You ready to go? Fuck yeah. Get me the fuck out of here. Oh, everybody's like that, Brett. Don't worry about it out here. Everybody's like, dude, I'm ready to go home. Right? But Rod was cool, and he always had a cigarette. Remember, some of our more seasoned, experienced people in the audience might remember back in the day when they had cigarette commercials. Commercials on TV. You know, for Lucky Strike or Pall Mall. Yes, it's the filter. The filter, fiberglass filter in every Pall Mall that delivers squeaky clean smoke. That's why 2 out of 3 doctors recommend Pall Mall over any other cigarette brand. I'm not kidding. You imagine that? You go to the doctor and he's like this. He's like, Well, Mrs. Cleaver, it looks like a simple yeast infection. I think with some antibiotics, we're going to go ahead and clear it up. Let's spin the wheel again. Here we go. Let's spin the wheel. Where's it going to stop? Whoa! Dead celebrities. I don't know if you guys heard. 85 years old, just died. From repeated pokes to the stomach. That's right, the Pillsbury Doughboy died this week. I get upset because he left behind a family. His wife, Jane Doe. Their son, John Doe. And their youngest, Dill. That's where Dr. Phil comes in. Oh, shame on you for thinking that. This is serious stuff. Right? Services are set this weekend for $3.75 for about 20 minutes. And how about the comedians that ruin their own career? La 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 la. Miss me? Heard any good jokes lately? You guys know what the secret word is tonight? Massage. You know what to do anytime anybody says a secret word, right? Yell real loud. Let's try it. Hey, Pee-wee. What'd you go do? Went and got a massage? See, you guys are on it, man. But it's not what you thought. I went there and they told me it was really weird. I laid down and she said I could have oral or jail. Oral or jail? Well, gee, I don't want to go to jail, so okay, I'll take the oral. So she's rubbing me in this, but she's not doing anything, right? So I asked her, I go, what about the oral? She said, that's what I'm using. You said you don't want the gel. Oh, I knew that. Or how about this one? Here, let's change the channel. And now a message from Jell-O. There's a new flavor of Jell-O pudding that you're gonna love, and I know your mom's gonna love it too. It's the Quaalude Jell-O pudding with the roofie topping. She's gonna love it, but she may not remember it, you see. Nah, 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 gonna have a good time. Hey, hey, hey. Right? We all grew up with that. All right, let's spin the wheel. We'll move on. Here we go. Where's it going to stop? Oh, no, the ex-wife. We'll keep it quick. Every time I try out a joke, I tried it on her or friends or family. Everybody's pretty cool about it. You know, you can kind of sense as a comedian, you've probably tried it, you check out a joke. If it doesn't get a good response, you don't do it. Every time I tell her when she'd go, oh my God, don't you dare! Nobody's gonna like that! Nobody thinks it's funny, you're being ridiculous. Nobody knows who Pee Wee Herman is. Nobody knows who Rod Serling is anymore. The fuck, is she right? Hope not. I know I always think of Marge Simpson whenever I think of my wife's voice. Homie, don't! No! So I said, she goes, you're being ridiculous anyway. I don't know why you do this. It's crazy. I go, I know you are, but what am I? It's blasphemy what you're doing. I just turn on her like that and just be Pee-wee for the rest of the meal. Spin the wheel. Round it goes. Where's it going to stop? Pets. Who's got pets? We love our pets. I love my pet. I rescue. So my problem is when I rescue a dog, I don't want to give it away. So now I got 4 dogs, 2 cats, a bird with sonic powers. He waits till you walk by and goes, fuck! So I wear earplugs around my house sometimes. I'm not kidding. But what's funny, and I've done this ever since I was a kid, and I bet a lot of you do it too, we talk to our dogs and cats different, right, than you talk to your friends. So you come in from work, you go, there's my good guys right there. And I love those guys. And they're going, holy fuck, he's home. Because they've been staring at 4 walls all day, and now the sun comes in walking in the house. The sunshine of their life, you know.
Who does it? Be honest. Who does it? Raise your hand if you have a pet voice for your... You got a pet voice? Can I come talk to you? Will you be my friend? I don't know if this is going to make it. If it doesn't, you're going to be really lucky. Hi. What's your name?
Gretel.
Gretel? Do you have a pet? You do?
Dogs. 2 dogs.
And if I do my pet voice for Mama Kitty, which is different than my dog voice, will you do your pet voice for us?
Yeah.
Right on. Hey! Okay, here's my Mama Kitty. Hello, Mama. She's 21 years old, man. She's the light of my life. All right, let's hear your pet voice.
Who's my pretty girl?
Give it up. That's called bravery right there. That's not the kind of shit you want your friends to hear, you know what I mean? But we do love our pets. All right, here we go. One last spin. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Oh, your mom. Your mom. My mom. I'll tell you about my mom. My mom was an iron fist in a velvet glove, right? She adopted a little girl when I was 1. We were raised together. I had a biological sister. So she had a whole household she was running. She did a good job. But I love the way she taught us lessons. She was so creative. Like, I look back, I'm like, God damn, that was good. Here's a good one. She taught us about shoplifting. Who wants to go to Safeway? We do! All right, get in the car. So we get to Safeway and my mom's shopping. And we got a few things. My mom was cool. She go, what kind of cereal you want? That kind of shit. So we get our stuff and I passed through produce with her and this is going to date me because some of you that are older will remember these baskets. They were like woven baskets in the produce section with caramel with like beautiful gold wrappers on them and shit. They were sold by the pound or whatever. I walked by that. I just went, man, this is good. So we walked through the store, me and my sister Raylene. Caramels, eat caramels. It's all good. My mom didn't notice anything till she was loading up the car. And we're sitting in the back seat with our mouths full. And all of a sudden, the policing came in to effect. And she said, what are you eating? We're like, mouths full of shit. Caramel. Where did you get it? Dan, 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 dan. The store. Dan, 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 dan. Did you pay for it? Get out of the car. This is how she was. Get out of the car, both of you now. Here, Mom, take the wrappers. Get out of the car and walk ahead of me to the store. Go. Don't look back at me. Walk to the store. We go in, the doors slide open. 25 people are getting their groceries. My mom says, I have some kids who've stolen here. Where's the manager? Everybody's like, oh shit, some kids are going to learn a lesson right now. That big metal door. Oh man, I'll never forget it. Like, I have nightmares about that door to this day. 50 years later, my mom goes up. They're going to hate me next door. Yes, ma'am. She says, hi, I have 2 kids who shoplifted here. Really? Well, come on in. You know, and they're winking at each other. You know, we didn't see it. My sister Raylene's already crying. And her cry was great, too, because it started out just air. And then it took a minute, all of a sudden, that shit was starting up, and I'm going to be brave. I'm going to be brave. I'm going to sit here, and I'm going to just take it. He says, now, normally when somebody shoplifts, we call the police. Well, okay, do what you got to do, my mom said. So he picked up the phone. He says, hi, this is Bill Johnson from Safeway. And could you please send an officer down? We have 2 kids who've shoplifted. Hang on a minute. They said they can either take them to jail. And now I'm going, oh, fuck, I don't want to go to jail. Or we could let you take them home on your own. My mom said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and take them home. He said, okay. And I knew my mom knew lesson learned, right? So we get in the car and we're driving home. And I asked the question. And you know what the question is. Mom, what? Are you going to tell Dad? Yeah, as soon as we get home. Can you take me back to Safeway? I'm going to get out of here, but let's finish with a thought. I was thinking about this. When you think about the female human reproduction system,
there's an egg every month, right? And that egg changes every month. And then there's, at any given time, there's 800 million, that number's right, sperm cells racing up the fallopian tube. I call it the fallopian 500, right? It's like a race, and they're jamming each other, and only the strongest one's going to get there. And when it gets there, you become you, I become me. But what would happen if a different sperm had hit out of 800 million? What would happen if that sperm had hit a different egg? Would I be me? Would you be you? So really, when you think about it, it's 800 million to 1 that you're here, that I'm here. So we won the lottery of life, right? You couldn't go down and scratch a ticket if you didn't already win the lottery of life, right? So love yourself, love your friends and family, and all I can say, God is great. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.